What's up, you guys? So Brady here. We just actually hit a back workout. This is on my new program that I started literally just a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to take you through it, and my back transformation has been pretty solid the past few years. I noticed a few years ago it was definitely a big weakness of mine, and since then I've turned it into probably one of my strengths. I still have a long way to go. I still have to get wider, I still have to get thicker, but coming from where I started, it's been pretty good. So I'm going to take you through the exercises I went through in my brand new program, and also explain like how to do them effectively. I think that's a really important thing when it comes to your back workouts. It's not so much like chest or biceps where it's like pretty easy to feel the muscle working the way it's supposed to. For back, it's just kind of tricky, and it's because there's just a lot going on with your scapula and all that good stuff. So every exercise you want to make sure you're performing correctly. I'm going to take you through the workout now, and you can try this one out if you'd like. So we started this workout with lat pull downs. True and tested, lat pull downs are pretty awesome. Really good for growing your width, specifically your lats, and that's because of the action the lats do, which is adduction. And any sort of pull down like that, you want to make sure that your elbows are aligned with like the center line in your frontal plane. So keeping your elbows pretty much by your side. You'll notice I bend back just a little, but not too much. If you bend back too far, you're gonna end up doing kind of like a row, and it might work your traps a little bit more. But for the pull down, I'm just keeping my elbows down by my side. I try to get as much range of motion as possible, and what's really important is at the top, I'm making sure to stretch all the way, because your lats are actually connected about right here on your arm. So you wanna think about stretching that part as high up, and then the first movement you make is pulling down with your lats. Not so much your biceps, but your lats first, and then bring it down as far as you can. With weight, you can go pretty heavy on these, but as soon as you start noticing kind of like diminishing range of motion or anything like that, you're going too heavy, and you definitely don't want to cheat yourself on the range of motion. So that was our first exercise. We did 3 sets of that, and then we moved on to a single arm machine row. I actually really love single arm rows because it really helps you isolate your middle traps. Any sort of row, you can focus on your lats in a row, but in this case we're focusing on our middle back, so our middle traps. Underneath our traps we have our rhomboids, all of our scapular retractors basically. And so what you want to think about is your shoulder blades range of motion. So you're going to let the weight pull your shoulder girdle forward, and you're going to feel a stretch in your trap. That's when you know you're doing it right. And then the first movement is going to be not your bicep, but actually your shoulder blade back, and then you're going to roll all the way back. You'll notice like a bad form is like just rowing like this, no range of motion. A good form would be pulling forward, bringing it back, and you don't want to twist so much in your core. Okay, this isn't an oblique exercise, but you do want range of motion in your shoulder blade, and that's when you know that you're doing it correctly. So we went ahead and did 3 sets of that each arm. From there we moved on to a row machine. We were supposed to do a cable row again, so just a 2-arm machine row, but I snapped the handle. Unfortunately, we don't have a clip of it. I actually snapped the handle and did like a backflip. So we just decided to, that was bad luck to do the row machine. We actually went up it was bad luck to do a cable machine, so we went up and did the row machine instead. In this one, you have a few different grips. You have a neutral grip, and then you kind of have like an outside grip. I went ahead and did both. I noticed kind of the up and down neutral grip helps you focus on your lats a little bit better. But the outside grip helps you with that range of motion in your scapula again. So kind of mess with both, but same idea here. You want to get as much range of motion in your scapula as possible. So we did 3 sets of that, and then we did a kneeling wide lat pull down. This is actually probably my favorite lat exercise. If you've seen my back videos for the past 2 years, I've incorporated this. And you get down on the ground with the cable machine. You actually get a little bit outside. And what I love about this is, yes, the pull down is really great, but it kind of limits your range of motion as far as adduction goes. But when you do the single arm, you get the same stretch you do as a pull down, but then you also get more adduction range of motion. You can bring your elbows way close to your body, and you'll feel like your entire lat moving. So awesome exercise. I swear by these. This is probably my biggest lat builder I've experienced in the past couple of years. So yep, 3 sets of that, each arm, each side. After that, we went and did another kind of row variation, but this it kind of mimics a T-bar row a little bit. We're actually supposed to do a T-bar row, but personally I don't really like T-bar rows just because of my back. I've always had lower back issues, and for me, if I do a T-bar row, my lower back gives out literally like 20 reps before my upper back gives out. So I find it better just to use the chest supported T-bar kind of variation. And same thing with this, guys, range of motion with your scapula, okay? That is the most important thing to build your middle back and that back thickness that we're talking about. So we did 3 sets of that, and then we moved on to a shrug. I really prefer Smith machine barbell shrugs, but in this case, Maddie and the girls stole the Smith machine. So we went ahead and did a trap machine instead, which is the next best thing. I do think you can go pretty heavy with your traps, but what you want to make sure you do is still get solid range of motion. You want to focus on the stretch at the bottom, let the weight pull down your traps, feel a stretch in your upper middle traps. And then on the way up, get as high up to your ears as possible, think shoulders to ears. What you don't want to do is kind of do like a little chicken thing. I'll see a lot of guys do. That's a sign you're probably going too heavy. You're also gonna hurt your neck. But keep your chin kind of tucked and then feel full range of motion. You actually wanna, if you can, think about pulling slightly diagonal backwards. That's kind of, that fits like the motion of your traps a lot better. I don't like if you're going kind of like too forward with it, kind of pull back if you can. So a few things there. I think that's why I don't believe in doing it behind your butt, like a barbell behind the butt trap raise or whatever shrug. I don't really like that. If you have it in front of you, that way you can kind of pull it back a little further backwards, and it just honestly, like, it matches the line of your muscles and their line of pull a lot better that way. So 3 sets of that, and that actually completes the back workout. So we hit traps, upper and middle, scapular retractors, we worked our lats, and that right there is a well-rounded back day. Lots of volume, hard intensity. With anything, you know me, you gotta go hard, you gotta bring the intensity near failure every single set, regardless of the weight, regardless of how many reps it takes. Just go to near failure, you're gonna grow. So thank you so much for watching. If this helped you, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and drop a comment below what your favorite back exercise is. We'll see what everyone has to say. We'll see you in the next video though. Peace out.